I'm sitting in the back of a Toyota Corolla on the outskirts of Warsaw in Poland. I'm Jewish, and wedged next to me is an 83-year-old, 5-foot, extremely plump nun. My mother had spent part of World War II in a Catholic orphanage in a town in central Poland. And at 69, from Australia, she asked me to help her find the sisters who'd cared for her. I emailed dozens of churches. I searched for the sisters for months. And just when I was about to give up, a friend in Boston, where I live, introduced me to a man in Poland who was well connected in Catholic circles. And he phoned Sister Honorata. And she told him about a little Jewish girl her order had hidden during the war. So in the car, I'm feeling hopeful because Sister Honorata is wearing a polyester cream shirt, a black calf-length skirt, Birkenstock-type sandals with white socks. And Mum had told me that her sisters wore skirts and shirts, not head-to-toe habits. But I'm feeling skeptical still, because whenever Mum shared her memories with me, I would research them, and sometimes the dates didn't line up and the details were different. Plus, she'd been in Poland 10 years earlier, searching for the sisters and couldn't find them. Finally, we get out of the traffic snarls and we're on the open highway, and the sister driving us turns up her Catholic pop tunes. Hours later, and we pull into a gravel driveway, and behind a convent painted daffodil yellow is this enormous old wooden building, the orphanage my mother had described. After my grandmother was killed, my mother's aunt and uncle took care of her somewhere close to here, and when she was 18 months old, they were arrested and sent to an extermination camp. And they left her wailing in her cot, holding her white teddy bear. And at some point, she was taken later to the convent. Mum had told me about these enormous mountains behind the orphanage. I don't see any mountains, just a grassy knoll. Mum was 3.5 when she left here. How could a child possibly remember anything accurately? Suddenly, sisters start popping out of the yellow building and they rush to the car, including the Mother Superior, who, like Sister Honorata, was close friends with a sister who took care of the little Jewish girl, supposedly my mother. But no one's left alive who knew her. But the stories about the girl are legendary here. Mother Superior tells me that the little Jewish girl didn't live with the 75 older children in the orphanage, but they kept her hidden. She slept with Sister Cornelia in her room above where I'm sitting now. And she also tells me that Nazi officers interrogated and killed Jewish people in a building at the rear of the property, and that the little girl was fascinated by their tall jackboots. Fascinated? I'm pretty sure the woman who's translating has made a mistake. Mum had told me about her nightmares of men in uniform with black boots, and the Gestapo men who came for my grandmother that day wore boots. There's no way this child they're talking about could be my mother. So I pull out my laptop and I show the sisters a photo taken close to here of my mother in a white bonnet tucked into a stroller. Mother Superior looks at it and then she reaches into a cabinet and she hands me a picture of a sister holding this scrawny, pale, sick-looking child. I've wasted my time. This doesn't look anything like the child on my laptop. But then I notice the bonnet. It's too big. Could it be, if my mother hadn't had enough to eat before she was eventually taken to the convent, could it be her? Mother Superior hands me another picture, this one taken at the end of the war, of a little girl, 3.5, 4 years old, with a full round face, glossy black hair, dark chocolate eyes. This looks like photos I've seen of me as a child. We line this photo up to the one on my laptop. This is my mother, and these are her nuns. 5 months after I hugged the sisters goodbye, I returned with my mother from Australia. And after a long day at the convent, I follow her into the chapel and I watch her slide into a pew. Sisters file in for afternoon prayers, and then they stop and they stare at my mother, the little girl they've all heard about. I watch Mum's face switch from frowning to smiling, like she's vacillating between the past and the present. She's listening to the sisters chant this low, soothing rhythm, mantras she heard here morning, midday, and night. Now I can picture her. Outside, there's the violence of war, and inside, a routine that anchors a child who's lost everyone she loves. Mum flew 30,000 miles here to reconcile memories that have haunted her for years. She laughed at the mountains that turned out to be hills, but the old pews that she'd sat on for hours, swinging her legs while Sister Cornelia prayed, they are real. And so are my mother's memories, even with their inconsistencies. I know Mum is at home here now. It's as if, for the first time, I know who she is. Thank you.